Right, now why have I jacked the car up again? It's because if you look at that, the steering wheel is straight. I'm going to check it's in the centre of its lock, but the steering wheel's straight and this wheel's pointing out. And if you come around, this wheel's pointing straight ahead, so something's happened with the tracking. It's probably just been thrown together like the rest of the car, I'm guessing. But also, one of the boots is ripped, so I've got a gaiter here. And I'll show you what's in the box. It's a Borgenbeck BSG 3239 steering gaiter kit. Probably fits loads of cars, but one of the cars it fits is this. And you see, there we have it. And once I've got the wheels off, I'll show you. But I just wanted to show you that why we're doing it is because it's clearly way out. So that wheel, obviously this isn't going to be a professional alignment or anything, but that wheel is fairly okay. So I don't need to do much with that one. And this one's pointing out, but one of the boots is ripped, so I'm probably just going to replace both of the boots as well. So let's see how I get on. I'll take this off first. So this is kind of perfect really because it shows you what's going on. So this is the gaiter we've got here. Get my hand into it, and that's not doing anyone any favours. And this is also the side that I need to change in terms of the actual alignment as well. So that's quite nice. So what do I need to do? So at the moment this wheel's facing kind of pointing out, or towing out as we say. So what I need to do is lengthen this rod here in order to you know, to make the whole thing right again. But the problem is I can't just mess around with undoing this and adjusting it as you usually would. I'm actually going to have to take this this ball joint out or track rod end out of the hub, because I need to take this whole thing off in order to slip the new boot that I've got here on. And that's at least my aim anyway. Hopefully it fits over. It looks a little bit smaller. I'm hoping I'm not getting stiffed here, so we'll see. But first of all, I'm just going to clear up with a wire brush this area here, and I'm going to try and just knock the tension off this nut here, obviously holding on to this track rod end first. So let's give that a go. Also, I'm going to have a quick look at the track rod end itself. It's not perished or anything, or moving a lot, so hopefully that means it'll be okay. And obviously with the key in ignition and the steering lock off, you can pull the whole thing round towards yourself a bit more. So split pins out, and then now just take that 17mm out there. So I've got my 17mm socket under here, and that's most of the way out there. And then get the hearing protection on, and then just hit here basically, and this should spring up, I'm hoping. There we go, simple as that. So now this was pointing out too much as it was, so I'll get this steering straight in the car and just see how much I need to pull this in, which means I need to lengthen this bar here, essentially, the track rod end. So inside the car, obviously keys and ignitions, the steering wheel locks off, car's jacked up both sides, so nothing to worry about there. And I'm going the whole way to the left hand side. There we go. So count with me. It's kind of one lock there, two locks there, three locks there, and four, kind of. So you need to put it in the middle of there. So that's 1, 2. That should be fairly straight-ish. So yeah, that's where that's pointing out. I think the other one should be pointing, well, that's pointing straight still, so That's good. So now, what I need to do is lengthen this, keeping this in the same position. Obviously this is still needs a proper alignment, but you know, that's pretty much straight there. So now I can go ahead and take this off here like this. And like I say, I need to lengthen this. So I'm going to keep that nut where it is. And then, see, if you leave the nut where it is, you can see how many turns you've done. So 1, let's start off with 2, and this should be a little bit better. 3, 4. So each is kind of incrementally making it a little bit better. 5, 6. I don't know how many I've got there, so I've got to be careful of that. That's all. It's getting better anyway. So let me just work this out, and first I want to see also. So that's 6 I've done now. I've got to see how many threads I've got left in there. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So there's lots of threads in there. Obviously if I did 17, it'd actually be pointing the wrong way. So 17, go back now. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. So that's 2 more than 6, obviously. That's still pointing. So 8, 9, 10. That's looking better. And I'll just confer the other side, because of course the suspension's not depressed, so things will change, but that's looking pretty good. 11, 12. Let's just try that. 12's looking good. See how straight the other wheel is? But that's looking, if anything, it's towing in a bit. So I'm going to go in 1, 2 turns, maybe out 1 turn. Hard to see, but again, whatever. Anyway, that's much better than it was. You can see how much I've moved it. It's a hell of a lot actually, but the nice thing is I've confirmed that I've got enough thread still in this bark. You don't want to have it the whole way out and you know, slip off that thread or something. So that's looking a lot better. So now what I can do, well, I can't lock it off yet. What I can do is put it to there, okay, and then I can measure that. But the other thing I didn't do yet is I need to change this boot. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to take this fully off there. I'm going to measure between here and here, just so I have a reference. And then I'm going to take this boot off next. So I did actually come up with quite a good idea. What I'm going to do is leave the nut where it is and just see how many winds to take the thing fully off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12, pretty much. I mean, I can fine tune it whatever later, but 12. So then I can just take this nut fully off, and then I can take this boot thing off. I can't think there's much holding it on. There's probably some spring clips, so I'll just take that off from the inside there. So this is the situation inside the engine bay. There's not a lot going on in here, so there's a lot of space, which is nice. Anyway, this is the boot down here. You can just see it there. There's this little kind of connector here that you can kind of wriggle and pop out. It's got a little metal clip on it, but whatever. So that's there, and then now it's really hard to see, but there's a metal clip that's holding this whole thing on. I'm just gonna have to go in there and snip it off, but I'll do that and show you. There we go, I got one with some big old tin snips. I'll just show you down there. Let's try and zoom in. You can see anyway, that's where the snips have cut the whole thing apart. Here we go, here's that clip. And then with these things, I managed to turn it slightly and that should unstick it. Oh my god. Holding on for dear life. I might just cut it. There we go, finally it's off. Yeah, it was really held on there. But anyway, that's off there. You can see the bit that's missing. And now I'm gonna put on the other part, at least compare it to this first. So this is the one that came off, like that. And this is the one going on. I'm hoping they look quite similar-ish. This connection's very different, but whatever. Let's just try and get it on and see if it fits. All right. Over here like this. It strikes me as this is more of a kind of universal boot, as opposed to one specific to this car, because this hole seems a bit small, but that could be a good thing. There we go. It's on there, like that. There we go. And then let's get it on the inside here. Yeah, so I'll get it in place and put the zip ties on. You won't see much, but I'll show you when it's done. So now there's a zip tie on there as well. Don't know how required that is, but it's on there. And then I'm just gonna basically clean down this thread here with a wire brush. Put some copper slip in on it for the next guy. Thread the nut on. Just thread this on. So 1, 2, 10. How does that look? That's pretty good. And then now I can just wind this back on here. The other nut, which is here, I'll just use some of that copper slip on this thread, put that nut in here, and then tighten up 17, tighten up this with a 22, the 19 holding it, and then we're done. Just tightening the jam nut against the arm itself. You don't go mental. Just wipe off the excess of the copper slip, because else it'll just get covered anyway. Wipe off the excess. And that is basically that. So that's one job done.